All right, so we do have a pretty packed agenda, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Once again, thanks everybody for joining. Today we're going to talk about cutting hidden fulfillment costs and the ROI of a streamlined shipping process. So let's jump in. So today's customers, both on the B2B and B2B or B2C side, expect fast, accurate, and affordable shipping. We all know that with Amazon Prime and other businesses like that, shipping is same day, next day, and they expect it fast and they expect it to be the right products every time. So that's put a lot of pressure on other businesses, but thankfully there are a lot of tools that can help you make sure that you're keeping up with some of those giants of the world and also being able to ship and keep customers happy. So in today's webinar, we're going to talk with the team at Blue Link ERP, FreightSnap, and 2Ship, and we're going to show you how an integrated order-to-ship workflow can help you, first of all, uncover some of the hidden fulfillment costs that you might be incurring, as well as then eliminate inefficiencies, cut some of those costs with tools for automated dimensioning, rate selection, and then having one system to kind of manage all of your data. So joining me today, we have Zach Taylor from Blue Link, Megan O'Rourke from FreightSnap, Darren Hill from 2Ship, and Russ Pruce from 2Ship. So Zach, why don't you start us off and just tell everybody a little bit about Blue Link for those that are joining and aren't using the software.
Perfect. My name is Zach Taylor. I'm an implementation consultant at Blue Link. Our software is distribution software, but more importantly, it's accounting software first. So we help with any small to medium-sized business distributing just about any product you can think of. Our customers go for food and beverage, toys, a whole bunch of different options. Fish. We have a fish distributor. And our software is really good at accounting for inventory and kind of helping fill that accounting process really well, along with distribution and workflows.
Awesome. Megan, do you want to share with everybody a little bit more about FreightSnap?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started in 2012. We are a dimensioning, weighing, and imaging software. So we allow the automated system to kind of fit into your process, and then we are able to integrate into your software to feed those dimensions and those weights and those pictures to where they need to go.
Awesome. Thanks, Megan. Darren or Russ, do you want to tell us a little bit more about 2Ship?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. So yeah, 2Ship's not just another label generator. It's everything you need to solve for your global shipping needs. The solution finds you the best carrier, the best service, and every time you ship. We also streamline and automate your entire shipping process across every location and every user within your supply chain. Actually from envelopes to truckloads, full truckloads, inbound, outbound, B2B, B2C, C2B, even C2C. We cover everything. And most importantly, we're also proud to be Blue Link's transportation management solution partner.
Awesome. Thank you, Darren. All right. So on today's agenda, we're going to talk about the workflow. We're going to look at a typical process from order to shipment for distributors. We are also going to talk about some of the hidden costs that you might have and you might find in your current manual shipping process, and then what it can look like when you are able to automate those workflows. We're then going to do an actual demo of how these softwares all work and how they work together to show you what that looks like in real life. And then we'll have a little bit of time at the end to answer any specific Q&A. So for most businesses, when we talk about shipping challenges, we will talk about things like complex manual workflows. So shipping involves a lot of manual steps like packing, weighing, selecting carriers, which can complicate operations, and a lot of these steps can be automated. There are also operational inefficiencies, so you have to rely on human-driven processes, which can sometimes cause slower operations, increase your labor costs, and then, of course, increase the error numbers as well. So when it comes to looking at integrated solutions, they can help streamline those workflows, reduce the errors, and then improve scalability without needing to add headcount. A lot of distribution and B2B, B2C businesses will have increased demand. So these types of tools can help them handle that demand without needing to add more employees to help out. So a typical workflow in a distribution business that relies on manual processes will look something like this. You have the order entry where an employee is manually entering the order from, could be a sales rep order, it could be an online order, could be a call-in order, and they're manually entering these into their accounting system. Then once the orders are ready to be picked, packed, and shipped, an employee will print a pick slip and then walk the warehouse floor collecting items for the order. We see some businesses where they are picking items based on memory of the warehouse layout. So if you don't have bin and shelf location set up, this can sometimes be an issue when you hire new people or you have turnover, and it can make it hard to find items in your warehouse. Next, of course, is the pack and ship process. So employees will sometimes pack orders using guesswork, often resulting in a bit of a trial and error process to find the proper size boxes. And then there are manual steps to measure, tape the boxes, and weigh the items on standalone scales, which can once again increase the time and increase the risk of errors. Next is the rate shopping process. Before selecting a carrier, if you are doing rate shopping and you don't have it automated with software, employees will need to log into each different carrier system, review all the shipping options, and then make a decision about which one will be most cost effective, and then enter the information into that carrier portal, and then print the label from that portal. And of course, once the shipment has actually been scheduled, an employee will then need to go back into the accounting system, update the order information, potentially update inventory data, and then actually invoice the customer. So, quick poll question here for the audience. How long does it take you to pack and ship an order? All right, so we're getting some variety here. For some of you, it's within 5 to 10 minutes, which is pretty great. For others, it's more than 20 minutes. So a little bit of variety here, but that's good insight. Thank you. Okay, so continuing on in this discussion. So obviously we know that when you are doing things manually, there's a lot of costs that you maybe aren't noticing or aren't noticing at scale. So if you're being charged extra amounts per order, it might not seem much, but if you add that up for every single order, it can quickly become a significant amount. So labor costs, so you might be spending a lot of hours on repetitive tasks, which would include things like measuring boxes, logging into multiple carrier portals, copying and pasting data, and then having to create labels in carrier systems and trying to make sure that you're doing all of this without accidentally making mistakes as you're entering data into more than one place. You may also find hidden costs as it relates to error and rebill costs. So small errors can result in expensive carrier surcharges. So if you're inputting incorrect dimensions or weight, you're choosing the wrong freight class, you can end up getting charged for those from the carrier. And you might end up paying more for shipping if you're also using the same box sizes. So if you're not accurate with your measurements or you're not choosing different box sizes, this can also end up costing you more. Other areas where there are often costs associated are carrier cost inefficiencies. So once again, if you're missing out on cheaper options because you're not rate shopping or because rate shopping is a manual process and takes too long, this is where you could drastically cut time and cut money. Operational slowdown, so things like, longer picking, packing, and shipping times because a lot of it is manual. You're not able to automate the process. Or when you're busy, you might have a backlog of information, which once again will slow down the entire process. And ultimately, that will lead to customer service costs. So if you have delayed shipments, if you're getting a lot of returns because you're not shipping the right products, if you have to reship product, there's obviously a cost to that, as well as the cost of unhappy customers and lost sales. So I wanted to quickly show you this shipping ROI calculator. I will be sending all of you an email after this webinar with a recording and some more resources, including this calculator. So you can enter your values and you can try to figure out where you could be saving some money and what your extra order capacity could be. So if you were automating the process, how many more orders could you actually process and ship a day? So I'll be sending this in the email after. So next poll question. Do you know if you're getting charged additional fees from carriers for any shipping classification errors? So once again, it looks like, some people aren't sure, and then there are people who are getting charged and not entirely sure of the amounts. And then some people where, yeah, they do believe it could be a significant amount. So pretty even spread with the answers to this question, but thanks again, everybody, for participating. I appreciate that. All right, so now looking at the automated workflow side of things. So if you were to automate some of these processes and use a tool like Blue Link and like TwoShip and like FreightSnap, what would that actually look like? So before we get into the live demo, what it would look like from an order entry standpoint is orders would automatically flow into Blue Link from your different sales channels. So whether that's, your sales team submitting them, whether it's coming from a marketplace or a connected e-commerce site, all that information gets put into Blue Link, and then the inventory gets allocated to that order. On the pick and pack side of things, warehouse employees can use barcode scanners to generate an electronic pick slip that will guide the employee to the correct bin and shelf location in the warehouse based on an optimized picking path. It'll also notify them at the source if they accidentally pick the wrong item or pick too many of that item, which drastically saves them from having to correct those errors back at a packing station. Then with FreightSnap, you get instant dimensioning. So at the packing station, the employee can choose the appropriate box, and then that box is measured instantly, and those dimensions are captured and sent automatically into Blue Link. Then when it comes time to actually choose your carrier, you can launch TwoShip directly from within Blue Link. This allows you to see all the carriers and their corresponding rates, select the best option, and print the label, once again, directly from within Blue Link. So no need to log into multiple systems. Everything is right there at your fingertips. And if you want to add more carriers, it's really easy to do that from inside of TwoShip. And then, of course, when you get to the actual shipping process, the shipment is scheduled with the best carrier rate, and then you're able to update invoice information, accounting, and inventory automatically in Blue Link. So you're reducing the amount of manual work, which of course reduces the amount of errors associated. All right, so we're now going to jump into the demo portion. So I'm going to just show you guys a video, and we're going to have the different teams tell us a little bit more about the different products. So Megan, you're up first.
So we're going to start with our FS 5000 pallet dimensioner. It hangs about 12.5 feet above the ground. You can have a floor scale or a wrapper in the zone. So you'll drop the pallet, you back out of the zone. Usually you'll scan a barcode or however you want to identify that pallet. That's completely up to you. It takes about 2 to 3 seconds. It will dimension, takes 2 photos, and then if you have the weight, it will grab the weight as well. As long as you have Wi-Fi or hardwire connection, that data will either be sent to our cloud, which is free, or we could send it directly into Blue Link. Or if you would just like to store locally, you can do that as well. So kind of a couple different options on that storage. But we could use, they're just kind of showing the different kind of barcode scanners that we use. We also have a mobile device that allows you not only to start the dimensioner, but it also allows you to take additional photos at a later time, if that's what you're looking for. So here's just a couple examples of them dropping the pallet, and then the scan time, like I said, is about 2 to 3 seconds to get the scan and the pictures. This is our parcel dimensioner. So similar technology, you'll just place the package underneath on the scale. We either have a benchtop scale or an inline conveyor scale. Scan the barcode, takes about 1 second. It will dimension, take 1 photo, and grab the weight as well. And from there, that information will automatically be fed into your software as well. And you could use the app for this as well. So here's it over a conveyor, stops just for like a second, and then it goes on its way.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. I'm going to just pause it for 2 seconds. Zach, you're up next. You ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
All right. So as Samantha mentioned, getting the orders in, We do have in Blue Link, we do have a sales order review screen. Some of you may know about this, some of you may not. But this just has all of our open orders that are in the system. So for purposes of this demo, we have this sales order here for Bill's Fish Distributors. They've got some festive items, rather large items. We are doing this as an LTL shipment, but you can see we have the sales order there. We can see all of the detail in the sales order straight from the sales order review screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that sales order number and we're going to paste it into what is called our F10 screen, which is the other screen that you see here. Obviously, I'm talking a little fast, so let me slow down. But this is our F10 screen, also called pack to container. What this is the verifying and packing of a sales order. So you can basically scan all products and sales orders through this screen. You don't even need to actually type. But what you do is at the top, you'll go ahead and scan the sales order number or manually input it one way or the other. And what that will do is it's going to pull up all of the items on the screen that need to be verified. So we do have instances where you can actually have all the items already packed into a container. One thing to make note about this, though, is that a container can be anything. It can be an envelope, it can be a box, it can be an actual shipping container. The container is what you want it to be, and you can have as many containers as you want. So you'll see we have these items here on the side. These are what need to be verified to make sure, hey, they are in the order. Once again, you can scan them at the top, or you can manually increment them over into the container using the arrows on the side. That's what we're going to do today. We're just going to use the arrows. And when they come over into the next window, what that means is those are now packed into this container, whatever container it is. So I should come over right about now. It'll take like less than a second to move all of those items over if you click really, really, really fast. But like I said, you can also scan them. So now that we have these items packed in this container, you can see the product code, the quantity. This is the container that these items are packed in. You can see that it currently does have a ship via. This is where we use FreightSnap, and we have this get dimension button. You click that button, and like Megan said, about 2 seconds. You'll get the height, the length, the width, and the weight of the items that are in there. Once you have that, now all we are really going to do is get our shipping rates. So one, it literally takes less time to get the dimensions from FreightSnap than it does to get them from a tape measure. So what we'll do next is we're going to click the Get Ship Rates button. This is where 2Ship comes into play. And what we are going to do is we're going to click this button and a window is going to pop up. When this window pops up, there's going to be a variety of carriers and a variety of service levels. These are all things that you would set up in 2Ship. And then you can see we actually have the ship via. We have an estimated ship cost button or column there. You can see that it's empty, but this is demo data. We have a fake address. So getting freight costs is not going to work with fake addresses. So, but you will get all of your freight costs there. And then you will also have your freight, estimated freight costs that you're going to charge to your customers. So you can set this up however you wish. If you want to charge them the same amount, you can charge them the same amount. If you want to charge 10% more, you can charge them 10% more. But whatever you set up initially, that's what's going to populate in this field. So you'll be able to see the ship cost and the freight cost to your customer right away. This also supports alternate billing account. So in the event that one of your customers has an account with one of the carriers that you have set up, you can actually link that to their account specifically if you want to set it up that way, and if your customer wants you to set it up that way. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to select one of the rates from the window. We're going to do use selected. And now everything is in the order. I know the tracking number may not be there, but after you do that, the rates come in and you click close 2Ship containers. What this does is communicates to 2Ship that this container is now done. What's happening here is it's printing a label, obviously to PDF for the demo purposes. This can be printed directly to a label printer, regular printer, however you guys want to get your labels, you can get them. But right after you click close 2-ship containers, it'll print off your labels. What this is printing off, because it is an LTL shipment, it is printing off a packing label along with a bill of lading, because we are doing an LTL shipment. So this is a demo of the document. These documents can be adjusted basically however you guys wish. If you don't like, if you want a very specific report for your packing slip and your bill of lading, they can be adjusted. We can put your logo on them. We can alter these. Most of these reports are crystal reports, so it's fairly easy for us to change. And then you'll see the bill of lading here as well. So if you were to do another package, a parcel package, you would have a different packing slip or packing label. And then basically what happens now is the order is done and we need to click ship. There's the tracking number right there that came from the order. Sorry, I missed that part. And you can see if the cost was there, the cost would populate as well. But after we're done packing the order, getting the shipping rates, then what we're going to do is we're going to click the ship button at the bottom. What that's going to do is really going to depend on how the organization operates. Some of our customers batch post invoices. Some of our customers will post invoices immediately after shipment. So you have that option with Blue Link to choose how you wish to post your invoices. But what's going to happen here is the setup is actually going to create a packing slip from Blue Link, so showing the items that are on the order. That's how we have this demo data set up. But you can also have it print the invoice along with a packing slip, depending on how you guys want to how you want the system to operate. So here is it showing saving the packing slip. I guess just to reiterate, when Samantha was talking earlier about the manual processes, here's our packing slip. The integration with 2Ship and FreightSnap is really incredible. And it kind of changes up a lot of manual processes and allows you to be more accurate with what you are shipping and how it ships. So you can see there our order is gone. It is now posted. And next up is 2Ship.
Awesome. Thanks, Zach. I'll give it ahead to the 2Ship team.
All right, so this is just our interface in 2Ship to add your own carrier accounts. All right, it's a self-serve process within your 2Ship admin account. Whether you're trying to add a small package carrier, the same-day messenger account, less than truckload, a full truckload account, it's really the same intuitive process within your 2Ship screen. All right, so it starts with finding the carrier, searching, finding them from the list of logos or names. And once you get into the carrier profile screen, it adapts to what's required for each carrier account. Okay, so if you're adding a FedEx account, you're adding a UPS account, those entry fields will differ based on what's required for each carrier account. All right. From a user perspective, it's as simple as entering the information in the required fields, selecting the locations in 2Ship where this account is going to be used. All right, and the screen will give you an estimate of the time it takes to get this particular carrier account into a usable mode. All right, with most of the API carriers that we integrate with, where we're communicating in real time, the setup's immediate. All right, this means, again, your FedEx, your UPS accounts, your postal accounts, your main LTL carrier accounts, they're all integrated through APIs with these carriers in real time. And as soon as you're finished completing the screen and adding your account, they're ready for use. All right, you'll start to see your rates come through. You'll start to ship on your accounts. They're pretty much, self-serve, immediate, get set up and get shipping. 2Ship has over 750 carriers integrated today. We're always adding more to our list. Chances are we'll have your carrier integrated, and simply, your work is to add your account details into the mix. If your carrier is not in our list, we'll also be more than happy to chat about what it will take to add it into 2Ship and get it there for you. All right, so the idea at the end of the day is you have the ability to add your own accounts. You open up an account with a new carrier. You want to start to use them within your Blue Link integration. Simply come here, add your account for that carrier, link it to the location that you want to use it at, and it's ready to start to ship with.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Russ. So we're almost at time, but we only have a couple more slides left, so we'll just continue through. So how do you handle carrier selection today? Last poll of the webinar, do you have multiple carriers? Are you currently only really working with one preferred carrier? Love to know what you already have set up. All right, so it seems like most people are using at least a couple different carriers. So at least you're getting a variety there a little bit with the race. But as you saw, there's the option to add many, many more carriers in the system, which is pretty neat. All right, so as we discussed, with FreightSnap, you get automated dimensioning in seconds to capture the measurements and avoid any errors or mistakes, and of course also reduce any surcharges. With TwoShip, you get the advanced rate shopping where you can compare shipping right from within Blue Link. You can easily make a selection based on what is most cost effective. You can also print labels from within Blue Link from those carriers, and then of course Blue Link sort of acts as the centralized platform. So integrating not only the shipping side of things, but also purchasing, order entry, sales, accounting, reporting, finance, and everything else. So we do have a minute left if anybody has any questions. Like I said, I will be emailing everybody who joined us today more information about this. Blue Link does have a bit of a special offer with the FreightSnap integration if you're interested before the end of the year. I will put that in the email as well. But just before we say goodbye, are there any questions? All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you to all the presenters and the different partners. And keep your eyes open for the email information. And everybody have a good holiday. Take care.
Same to you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.